I just wanted to take a moment following Steve's welcome and the meeting of one another that we just shared to say what a great joy it is to welcome everybody today, and particularly for those of us in the West, to be welcoming those of you in the East and share in the sense of significance of this opportunity for blending that is occurring at this time today and in this particular cycle that we're in. I don't think we can underestimate the significance of the 90 minutes that we'll share together, or of this period of sharing in a very significant cycle in the experience of humanity on the planet. It's my joy to welcome particularly Yujin to speak with us tonight. And I wanted to read something from the book of Ezekiel, which I think has relevance to this moment. This is what it says. And afterward, he brought me to the gate. This is a vision Ezekiel was having. And afterward, he brought me to the gate, even the gate that looketh toward the east. And behold, the glory of the God of Israel came from the way of the east. And his voice was like a noise of many waters, and the earth shined with his glory. And the glory of the Lord came into the house by the way of the gate, whose prospect is toward the east. And so the Spirit took me up and brought me into the inner court. And behold, the glory of the Lord filled the house. This is the law of the house. Upon the top of the mountain, the whole limit thereof round about shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house. The law of the house of communion, the house of belonging that we have the opportunity to share together, being in the vibrational temple of light, the house of communion, which is the house of the Lord. And here we have Yujin in the east with all of you friends, me speaking from the west with all of us as friends, geographically exemplifying a solid foundation stretched upon the earth across this geographical distance. And the glory of the Lord we see as that apex point that connects above and gives meaning to our gathering, east and west, with the line stretched upon the earth and the apex in the heaven that we know and love. So we have a very real living symbol of the opportunity to allow the outpouring of the glory and the meaning that has drawn us together with a promise of fulfillment, sweet spiritual intimacy, and the provision of guidance for all those in the world whose hearts are open to the radiation that pours forth from this gathering, which is oriented in the Lord of hosts. And so, Yujin, from your point in the house of communion, we welcome you, and our hearts and our ears are open to hear what you would bring. So over to you, my friend.
Thank you, David, for that beautiful introduction. It's so good to be with all of you. I guess there are 15 of us from Korea. It's wonderful to have this bridge. This happened once already when Chaeyoung and Tuki spoke a while back. This is our second time, and it's my wish that at some point in the future that we might do this with Korean and English together, so that in fact we can actually share and fuse together more deeply. But for now, just English, and some of our Korean friends, a number of our Korean friends understand English, some of them don't, but they wanted to be keenly a part of this time. They really wanted to meet you. By the way, they have heard lots about you and have such respect for you and love for you, and are aware of the years and decades of spiritual expression that you have offered into the world, and they have deep respect for you for that, and feel you as their elders, perhaps largely unknowns to you, so far at least. But here they are. They're part of a group of about 24 of us that meet every 2 weeks, that have done a number of classes, that have passionately been moving with the word, and have increasingly risen to offer leadership. About 10 of them are faculty for our seminars here in Korea. So wonderful to be together in this way. I've been following the Temple of Light services closely over the past year, 2 years, and feel what's been powerfully building. And I want to add my part to that in this time. I so appreciated the service shared last month by Suzanne and by Terry, Carol, and Millie the month before. This last service, I felt such spirit, passion, mirth that was spoken of. I felt the electric current of the Spirit of our Lord throughout the time. Similarly, I was so thrilled to be with Terry, Carol, Millie. So thrilled. And I so appreciate what is building, and want to offer my part into it. I want to begin by reading what the words that of Martin that Suzanne read in her presentation. When the sons and daughters of God are present and in expression, the world is transmuted and returned to the hand of God. God assumes responsibility and control directly in that world because of his sons and daughters incarnate and in expression. This is indeed glory to God in the highest. Sons and daughters of God present in expression. Glory to God in the highest. This is something that I felt, something of what I felt in that service last month. And perhaps what we are touching in this way is just the beginning of the more to come that one of our numbers commented in the comment time in last month's service. Just the beginning of the more to come. I want to read also the words that Robert Merriman spoke in the comment time, the words of Revelation 15. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and they that had gotten victory over the beast. And they stood on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. Here is perhaps a clear vision expressed of the more that may emerge in these, would we not say, important and culminating times. Sons and daughters of God, present and in expression, together, standing upon the sea of glass, mingled with fire. What fire? Mingled with the fire of our passion for the Lord, and having the harps of God. What harps? The harps, the message, the radiation that transmutes the world. And who are these sons and daughters of God? Present and in expression. Is it not clear that it's us, the truth of us, the reality of us, the reality of us fully burnt in the fire of God's love? And as I was going to say someone of our number, as my beloved wife Marcia said in that comment period last month, does a little bit of white hair matter? Or lack thereof? Does that matter to a son of God, to a daughter of God? And what was the age of Moses when he went through his transmutation on top of the mountain? 80 80. 80. Well, we are in good company. Besides, the Hebrew medical care system probably was not as good as ours. We are well set. So we are well set to carry on an important work. Our master said, I have finished the work thou gavest me. I have glorified thee in the earth. I have finished the work thou gavest me. I have glorified thee in the earth. I suppose that automatically brings the question to us. Have we finished the work that the Lord has given us? Have we finished the work? Have we glorified him fully, sufficiently in the earth? Well, perhaps there's something more for us to fully complete, finish. Wouldn't we be honest to say that's true? Something more yet to finish, complete. There's something more is what I want to explore together today. The words, finish the work, has been ringing in the quietness of my heart and mind for a while. Like a quiet whisper growing. Finish the work. Several weeks ago, while I was lying down quietly, I had an experience that was very important that I want to share. And I want to share it because this experience, although initially felt like a message to me, became clear it was not to me alone. As I was laying down quietly, I was suddenly flooded with the sound of that whisper inside of me, growing steadily. Finish the work. Finish the work. With the words came the vivid presence of Martin. The image of his face flooded my consciousness. And the whisper grew. And as it grew, it was as though he was speaking directly and increasingly more intensely straight into my heart and mind. And as I lay there, the throbbing waves of this message flooded me. And it went on for a while. And as this message, which felt like a star transmission, a fiery transmission. As this message transmission continued, it was clear to me that this message was not to me personally, particularly, but a message to the host body of angels incarnate, and in whatever degree of expression on earth. And not just the angels or emissaries who knew Martin in form, but all angels that have come forth to whatever degree on earth. Finish the work. It's time. Finish the work. It was clear also that this message was not just from Martin. As the message intensified, I felt behind the presence of Martin, the presence of Yoranda, the presence of our master. Joining in transmitting a fused message, finish the work. And beyond them, I felt more presences, all like the sound of many, many waters. All our true ancestors, pioneers, prophets, all those individuals that gave their lives so that humanity might have a chance. Pioneers and prophets of many countries, many nations, but also our close ancestors. I felt Bill Bayan, and how he would say the message, finish the work. I felt Grace, her smile, her passion. I felt Roger, and many more. Pioneers of all ages that totally gave their lives that humanity might have a chance, and might have a chance now in this day. And I felt all their prayers combined, all their passion combined, fused as one prayer, speaking the words, finish, complete the work which we began. Finish the work. All is aligned. All is set. All is set. What remains is to finish the work. I suppose in part in my consciousness, my mind gave up a question. How? How finish the work? All of us might have this question arise. The answer came back was simple. Decide to finish the work. Decide to do it. then the way will be shown. What would it mean to finish our work? Martin gave a very clear, simple, direct answer to that long ago. In 8 words: hear me, respect me, love me, and if you have heard, respected, and loved me, be me. Is this not the only way we finish the work? Be me. Be pure being. Don't be a part-time angel. Be full-time being. Be pure being. Be the presence, the authority of the Lord that needs to be present in these times, especially in these times. Be the inviter as I was the inviter. That job is yours now. Be the inviter. Out of the whirlwind of spirit, extend the invitation to humanity. Come. Be with me. Be with us. Be one with me. But don't just enjoy being with me, with us. Rise into the truth of who you are. And in doing so, you be the inviter. Finish the work of transmutation personally. If there's that which is left personally, finish that work of transmutation so that all shame, all hesitancy may be dissolved, so that there may be a superconductive vessel available through which the Lord may act, express. But also be me together collectively. Stand and express together as pure beings. $144,000 lords, pure beings in expression. Well, that sounds like a lot. How about we start with 24 or whatever numbers. Pure beings standing in the fire of the Lord. Jesus never succeeded in bringing his disciples to this state. And in a way, Yolanda didn't either. Martin did partially. If that was partial, then, well, what chance is there of us now? I say a lot. We didn't waste these past 30-some years. We went through our tribulations. We have grown. We have grown. And what Martin was inviting, I suggest more than ever before, we are ready to accept his invitation. Be me. Be pure being. I've pondered the absence, the meaning of the absence of Yolanda and Martin these past few decades. You probably have too. In this most crucial time, how is it possible that one might think they're absent without leave, so to speak? AWOL. They're not here in form. What's the meaning of this? What if the meaning of that is that they are meant to, their presence is meant to fire up through every cell of their body, collective body, through every cell of our physical body. That we are, that the meaning might be that we are meant to be the expanded Martin, Yolanda, the expanded me, the expanded Lord. That we are meant to fully take up the mantle of leadership they left behind. And maybe there's something a little more of that yet left to do, to fully take up the mantle of leadership. Are we shy? A little hesitant? I look at your faces and I don't see too much of that. If there is some shyness left, hesitancy left, well, as Bill Baird might say, who is shy? The one I am is not shy at all. The one we are is not shy, hesitant at all. Be me. Represent the authority of the king, the invitation of the king directly, unhesitatingly on earth. However, don't go on tangents of arrogant self-inflation. Be me. and coordinate in being, pure being, together. But doing so together has safety built in. No longer live as just an ordinary human self. Live as a transparent vessel, vehicle, channel for the direct expression of the Lord. This is the be, me. We don't need to mimic Martin. We can be our delightedly different, powerful expression of being of the Lord. Martin was a little boring in that respect. Very British. We don't need to copy that. But to be, being. Truly, isn't it time now? Isn't it now time for the apex, the climax of our lives? To burn whatever is left of shyness, hesitation, arrogance, fear, shame, and together be the authority of the Lord, the expression of the Lord. And as I say, if it's not just to the emissaries, the new Martin, it's to all those that are awakening, that have partially awakened. Don't just partially awaken. Come forth fully. Finish the work of all the ages. So I return in a few months to America, join Marcia. Part of the reason for this return is because of clearly what is stirring all over of the coming forth of being. There's something more for us to do together. I have provided what I needed to provide for 15 years here in Korea. And that cycle is partly finished because of the larger call that I sense is present throughout the world. Finish the work, come together, be pure being, accept the mantle of responsibility, and do it together. Just as we close this time, I want to mention the group here in Korea. Passionate response, leadership. They have heard the word. They have heard the invitation. They have accepted the invitation. They have accepted increasingly the being of the inviter. That's why with some of them that don't understand English, for that matter, they didn't care. They just wanted to be together in the presence of other inviters. Let's make our Lord happy. Let's finish the work together. Over to Steve, I guess it is.
I think we'll open up for comments, right, Yujin?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
If I may begin, part of finishing the work is loving each other, isn't it? And to make sure there's a clear field with each of us and appreciation for what we provide into the world. It was the Master's commission to love one another, to let the work be done.
Yujin, thank you for your passion. Not just passionate words, but the whole being of passion. Body, mind, heart, spirit. And isn't that what is going to get the momentum needed to finish the work that we've all signed up for? Passion. I was thinking as you were speaking about the whispering, what had occurred to me last night in the middle of the night. Here in California, we've had mighty winds. They've called them severe winds. And they happened all through the night. And I was wakened many, many times with the thrashing and all kinds of drama happening. And at the time, I was thinking of the small voice that starts as a whisper in consciousness, and yet it increasingly becomes a mighty whirlwind. And it is this whirlwind that we're responsible for, because we stand at the center. We're here at the center of the whirlwind. All kinds of things are going round, swirling around. And yet it is the passion of knowing who we are and standing right in the calm that gets the job done. And I am so thrilled to join with everyone, and especially our Korean friends, with your wonderful heart of passion that I felt every time you signed in. So thank you.
Yujin, thank you so much. This is Christina. I don't have my video on, but everything else is fully present. And I could not be more thrilled and delighted to stand with you to finish the work. I too think of that often. And we are called upon to be magnificent people in some pretty crazy situations that we find ourselves in. And I find that just so thrilling. I had a tooth pulled today, which wasn't a lot of physical fun, but it doesn't matter because this body needed to heal. And it's part of my work to finish the work, to stand strong, to bless all the dental people that surrounded me, to love them with a full spirit, and let us all rise up in a situation like that. So I just praise the Lord with you, with everyone on this call. So thrilled to connect with you in that part of the world and all those that are gathered. So with my deepest appreciation and joy, I love to be here and finish the work with all of you.
Yujin, 감사합니다. Thank you. It was so wonderful to be with you and all. Your passion is as compelling as your presence is very radiant. And I send my love to you and join my being with yours. We're one, aren't we? It's so good to be with you, all of my good friends in Korea. 감사합니다.
So wonderful, Yujin. such a critical message at this juncture for humanity on the planet to be spoken as you spoke it. I speak it with you, and there are so many who are not even with us on the line who can hear this message now in their hearts, realizing as we awaken and awaken others that there is no thing that can happen in a human life, nothing that can come within the range of my expression that cannot be used to magnify the Lord. I am the superconductor, we each may say, and we each may be in every tiny moment. And as this is done, the light's on and somebody's home and the whole world wakes up. How wonderful to be with you in this, not just now, but ongoing. Looking forward to your return to North America.
Absolutely. Thank you, Yujin. Gary Miles here. I respect you. I love you. I feel love radiating. And I so appreciate what you've done in Korea. It's like a template for what can happen here in North America. You've had such wonderful heart response there. And I think you've worked it all through, and now to come here. And I just want you to know that I'm with you, and we're all with you, and we just want to let love continue to instruct us in the way. We want to let it bring forth something new, something fresh, something that hasn't happened in all this time from way back. This is going to be the adventure. It is now, but I suspect there's more coming. That's wonderful. So thank you so much. Bless you, man.
Thank you, Gary.
Yujin, thank you so much for what you've opened up here. I want to go back to what you were describing about the various cycles that have happened for the Lord on earth. I'm right now reading the Bible, and I'm having quite the journey doing that. And seeing what the Master came to do, which was to invite people to understand that the kingdom was truly at hand, that everlasting life was actually a reality. He wasn't just talking about, after you die. He was talking about something that is available for the human, the angel, in form on earth, something fabulous. Now, as you were saying, it didn't work out for that. And he finished the work that he was able to do at that point. But then he had to do that work, as we have been taught, through his own being. And he opened the total victory that is actually available for every human being. But he did it himself. And then moving along, we had Yolanda come, the comforter, who did a magnificent job of opening up the instruction that is present in the books, in the Bible, what the Master had left for us, and he expanded it. But not only that, he began to do what the Master could not do, which was to build a body. The Master had to use his own body, but the whole point was that the whole body was to be transmuted and experience the kingdom of heaven at hand. And so now we know that Yuranda, the care that he offered, the instruction that he left us, the detail, the spiritual psychiatry, it's utterly amazing what he left for the body to be able to grow. And as you said, not a whole lot was developed, manifest, you might say, but so much was laid down in the pneumoplasmic realms and left for us. And then we have Martin. So I just want to reiterate that there has been so much prepared for this generation. And I do understand that sometimes you get the message down the line a little bit, you know, after the fact. But the master did say the first would be last and the last would be first. So I think we best use the opportunity that has been given to us, and to recognize that the greater works are truly greater. They do relate to transmutation. It is a very magnificent invitation. So I really appreciate you giving us that panorama, and how we are here now at this point together and what we are being invited to proceed with.
Let me follow up with that. Yujin, I'll try not to be shy. I think some of the significance of what we're sharing today, this morning and tonight, is the line being drawn between East and West, as was mentioned at the beginning. What you brought to focus, and I'm sure those with you in the East, as we're calling it, is of a different vibratory nature than would be natural to people in other parts of the world, the West, for example. Clearly, there was a fiery heart expressed through what you brought to focus tonight. And it emphasizes to me how we complement each other, how the different vibratory essences all fit together to make a whole. And looking at the different faces and places represented by this group tonight, I'm reminded that the sound of many waters is the sound of many voices. We each have a unique responsibility to bring to focus what only we can bring to focus, what is natural to our expression, just as Martin's expression was very different than Yoranda's expression. But they complemented each other. They fit together to do the job that needed to be done then. And so it's wonderful to get a glimpse in miniature of the emerging body and the responsibility that we each have individually, but also share collectively as our expression complements one another to create the whole tapestry. Wonderful to share that with everyone.
Yujin, I very much appreciate the lineage that you have brought forth, the vibration of the great ones that we knew before. Roger de Winton used to call them the great ones. And this matter of being great is on the table now. And for those of us that knew our lineage as we did, there is a sensing of the spirit of a collective spirit that is the only way to be great. And we must be great to get the job done, to finish the work. if you think of yourself as great as a human, forget it. That's not what we're talking about here. Something has been brought forth and given to us as has been so beautifully described. And that is the gift we have to embody and to express, so that all of us can come together within that. There's plenty of room there for everybody, for the whole world. And that is the movement forward. So, so grateful for this evening, this morning. Thank you.
That's so beautiful, Laura, and it touches me deeply what you've brought. Yujin, you've inspired me once again tonight. I've been contemplating a lifeboat this past few days. The lifeboat, for example, when the Titanic was sinking, there was a lifeboat. And I'm picturing the lifeboat, that collective. When Laura sneezes, I feel it. Because we're in love, this one love surround holds us. It's buoyant, it's in motion, and it is life. There was a service recently that I read by Martin or Yolanda, and he was adamant, it's love, truth, and life, because people were saying love, truth, and light. So this superconductor vessel, and as Anne Blaney said, it is a vessel of everlasting life. And so I went from a little dinghy raft in the ocean tonight to a superconductor vessel. Thank you, Yujin. You've brought that for us, and we are all in it together with you.
Yujin, I'd like to say a word, if I could. Was that you, Alan?
Sorry,
Anyway,
sorry, that's okay.
I'd like to say a word. And also, we have time, so if anyone from Korea would like to speak, let's use all the time we have together. But thinking a bit about this matter of finishing the work, I guess there are a few facets to that. This is a big project, the restoration of humanity, and it takes many generations. We've talked about the pioneers who are no longer here, and a new generation of pioneers are here. Some of us, before too long, won't be incarnate anymore. And there will be a generation to carry on the work that will take things to a point of very particular climax and culmination, which we envision, but we don't know specifically how that will occur, who will be on Earth at that time, and when the date of that completion might occur. I did a little research today, and I discovered that at the time when the Master Jesus determined that he would come into incarnation on Earth, at that very same time, Gautama Buddha was incarnate. Now, the Master wasn't incarnate yet, but the decision had been made that he would incarnate. At that time, the prophet Daniel was incarnate. Ezekiel was incarnate. Lao Tzu was incarnate. Pythagoras was incarnate. Confucius was incarnate. All these pioneers were alive at that time around 500 BC, when it was determined that Jesus would incarnate, the Master would incarnate as Jesus. And then when he came, we know that there was at least 12 disciples who incarnated at that time. And there was a number of the women disciples who incarnated, and there was the 120 who incarnated. And we might imagine that there was a whole wave of spiritual pioneers that incarnated in various locations around the world, North and South America, Asia, Europe, what we call Europe, and in the Middle East. Well, exactly the same thing occurred when Yolanda and Martin were born, 1909, 1907, and woke up to their commission. And there was a flood of incarnation of those who were to participate in the great pioneering project to generate the pneumoplasm necessary to carry on this great work of restoration. Now, a lot of those are not incarnate anymore, but we are. And around the world, there are others akin to us who have come on earth to participate in this project. And one of the things that was revealed through the master's time, and it was brought very specifically by Yolanda, and it related to the presence of the 12 segments of humanity and the 12 tribes, all brought together under the leadership and focalization of the priesthood of the order of Melchizedek, drawn out of the 12 tribes. So out of the 12 tribes of humanity in the world, there are those who have come to play their part just like we have. And all of this relates to the finishing of the work. For me, I see that the finishing of the work really relates to making sure that the one I am has control over this body temple. That is a great finishing. That is one of the great finishing, that the Lord incarnate in this body temple has control over this temple, over this mind, over this heart, over this body, this flesh, this response. And then there's another level of work that begins. But all over the world, this process is going on through many, just like we're describing it tonight as it relates to us. And so feel a very close kinship with all those who are part of the 12 tribes of humanity around the world. And vibrationally, our message is shared with them. Come close, draw close, it's safe. This is the house of communion. This is the house of belonging. This is the temple of the living God. And we are here together to finish the work through all the generations that are required until it is done. Thank you, Yujin, for bringing so much of this in essence to us. And we know that we have so much more to share in the days to come, wherever we are, geographically speaking.
Thank you, David. As we continue this conversation, maybe at this point, I want to interject just a little bit and then continue. This matter of taking full control, having full control of our capacities. I think particularly about the energy patterns of shame and fear that still so prevail in humanity. And in that it is rather universal. We have these feeling patterns, energies come up in our own hearts and minds. And as we feel the patterns of fear and shame, all we have to do is not identify with them, but inversely use them as a channel for radiation, because they represent the experience of just about everyone. So I wanted to address that briefly, but I wanted to go on to this image of the sons and daughters of God, incarnate, present in expression, standing upon this sea of glass mingled with fire. with the harps of God, having harps of God. And to me, those sons and daughters of God are us, and the harps that we have are conveying the message in this moment to the world. To all the angels partly awakened, finish the work, and that we together extend this message. And as this harp is played, even in this moment, I feel the message going out through us as we together extend the invitation, finish the work. That those that are the angels that are partially awake through the human capacities throughout the world are feeling the message. It's time. Whatever is left of the purification, transmutation in me, it's time to finish that and to be fully in place, to then extend the message to the rest. Finish the work. And to me, this is how the body awakens, as they hear the message, and we extend the message, finish the work.
Thank you, Eugene, for your great temple service now, today. Yeah, in terms of your great work in Korea, I deeply appreciate two kinds of work. One is the, Korean heart, have many trauma, but you introduced the time travel program. Let us be healed much. And another one is you and Masha taught us systematically emissary words and teaching. So relatively young people were taught by you and Masha, and nowadays they are at the threshold of your conscious level. But I believe they go over the threshold to be you. I think so. I deeply appreciate you and Masha to introduce the heart-soothing program, and also the conscious, that's not just a conscious level. Yolanda and Martin's words, you taught us systematically. So it's not a finished work, finished your work. Maybe to the Western society, ongoing your work, continuously. Thank you.
Yeah, Yujin. I tried to say several times, but okay. You know, yeah, it's not easy for me to say on Zoom, but I want to say, yeah, I felt it with energy, enough energy. It's amazing. I listen violently, and yeah, today I know. As I listened to your service today, I felt a sincere invitation. My heart beats. Yeah, my heart beats too fast. I want to remember a few words from you today. You know, we meet too often. Or last week, every day we met, but I feel differently in your eyes, looking through the Zoom today. Finish the work, be me, be invited to humanity. Yes, I will. Yes, I will do. I want to promise you here. The angels partly awake. Yes, I respond yes to your invitation. When you told us and wanted was sincere. Thank you for your intense invitation. 감사합니다, 유진님.
May I have chance to say some? Thank you. Thank you, Yujin, and thank you, Yujin old company. I can feel your heart, even through Zoom. Thank you for your beating message, Yujin, and I can feel Yujin fire heart, and also Yujin ignite our heart as a fire. Today I can feel is a phoenix energy. You say finished work and be inviter. At the same time, this means let's do new creation chapter. Let's do new creation chapter. Let's do now. It's not optional. It's our work because we have one heart, but this heart, we have lineage. All of you is our lineage. John Gray, Steve Ventura, Gray, Robert, Roller, even I don't know all your name, but through using service, I can feel your heart because that's why using say, be me, you are me, be inviter. We do new creation chapter. So I can feel Finney's heart through using. Thank you deeply. My heart is so beating now. And this is just start. I'm very look forward to make new creation day by day from today. Thank you. This invitation was so beautiful. Same time, this is very meaningful. Thank you, Yujin. 감사합니다, 유진님.
Well, good part of aging, in my experience, is just the little things like fear or doubt or any small psychological feelings or concepts just reside, just it moves out. That doesn't matter too much to me in my age. it's wonderful. It's wonderful to get old and be freed from that small things and invite somebody to heaven. I am fully ready to invite them. The first thing that I have to do is to clean myself, to make and prepare the heaven in me first, so that anybody can come and share the atmosphere of heaven together with me and together with others. And in this age, things are very relaxed and easy to move with whatever comes and whatever goes. And very easy to stand still. Whatever goes and comes and be me is much easier. What wonderful to get old. I didn't have this kind of feeling before. When I was young, I was bumping. But in this age, you can stand still and just see in a focused way and be generous and inviting and give enough heart and patience, young ones and around. It's so good to be with you and to invite and finish the work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Eugene. To be channel to receive that message that the vibration of the message touched my heart. That message looked like me, just calling message to me from God. So yes, yes, yes. Be pure being, be me, be inviter. That message really calling me from God. Thank you so much, Yujin. And also, I would like to say something. You finished the work in Korea, so I appreciate everything. And also, I send you to the world. I bless you. Thank you so much.
I just have to say, I feel like I have a secret, which is all of you. And Yujin, I've always appreciated from the 2 or 3 times I've probably met you, your beautiful spirit. And it's certainly come across in the words of everyone who's spoken from Korea. That Asian spirit is, to me, and I could be wrong, a gentle reminder that we can all stand still, as Choi said, in face of it all. And I don't know all of the work that you did there, but it's sure glaring here tonight. It sure is the spirit. I'm taking you guys all to me with me tomorrow. I love it, and I love the secret that we have to spread. Thank you so much.
불빛님 말하고 싶은데 한국 영어 못해서 못 말하고 있으면은 통역 내가 해줄 수도 있어요. 다른 분도. I just told them if anybody is bursting to say something but now no English, I can translate for them. 옥경님 말하고 있으면 소리 안 들려요.
I am sorry. Yes, now can you hear?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if everybody knows I'm Yujin's big sister. And I find I met Yujin about 10 years ago. Of course, we were born from the same parents long time ago, but I left my home, and then we migrated to North America, and I left home very early at the age of 25, and I was exploring the world and learning different languages and new cultures, meeting new people. But I felt always very lonely, and I never met anybody that I want to, I guess I was looking for a master, but I never met. And ironically, when I went to Jeju, here there is a man that I discovered. Who is this and what is this? And that was when I retired from my work and I went to visit my mother, and that's where I met Yujin. Before I met Yujin, I never thought about spirituality. I never knew this sphere of life and universe. I was so busy discovering with my earth suit and discovering the world. And so somebody brought me to Jeju and I met Yujin, and there I started learning about taking seminars and learning about a new sphere, a new space. And so when I hear Yujin's service, I'm always, that makes sense, but I'm still not quite used to these languages. Finish the work, be the inviter. Of course, finish the work. In my way, yes, it makes sense, but finish the work, as Yujin says, I never thought of it that way. But finish the work, I always asked myself, what am I going to do with my life? What is the meaning of life? And in fact, what you're saying is, we finish the work together, but I never connected to that direction. And I was busy doing many things, but it never, I was rather late to be guided to that direction. But I find I appreciate, and I am, I feel grateful that at the late age of my life, I'm brought to meet you and discovering this new sphere and new space, and also meeting these new people, your friends. And in Korea, I met many new people and new friends and new world. So I don't know if I'm Korean or Canadian. I'm in between, but it's just wonderful to be with you all. Thank you so much.
I want to come in again, and I want to thank everyone from Korea. You speak English way better than we do over here. You're so direct. You get right to the point and you just express so beautifully. I just wanted to thank you and say that.
유진님, 부탁 하나 하겠습니다. 초대 감사합니다.
Thank you for the invitation.
유진님이 말씀하신 걸 한국말로 세 문장으로 핵심을 말해주시면 제가 거기에 리스폰스 하겠습니다.
그러기는 지금 시간이 없어요. 네. 그러면 패스하죠.
네.
근데 풀피님 어저께 그 나눴던 이야기들을 그대로 하셔도 자연스럽게 다 연결되는 내용일 것 같아요. 그 어저께 저희들 나눴던 거 해주시면 여기 유진님이 충분히 통역해 주실 것 같아요, 풀피님. 어제 밤에 나눴던 거.
간단하게는 초대자가 되라. 일을 끝내라.
자신이 되어라.
아하, 네. 감사합니다. 우리는 초대자가 되기 위해서 이 땅에 왔습니다.
We came into this world to be the inviter.
지금 이렇게 연결이 되어서 그거를 나눌 수 있어서 기쁩니다.
I'm so delightful that we're connected in this way and sharing in the knowledge of that.
그 어떤 것도 우리를 막을 수 없습니다.
There's nothing that can stop us.
어떤 것도 장애가 될 수 없습니다.
There are no barriers, truly.
함께 그 일을 해갑니다.
We do this together.
유진님 감사합니다.
Thank you.
May I? Yeah, I'm not so sure I can express what I want to express, but in English, but I will try. Thank you for your service, Yujin, and for your true and powerful service, message, and invitation. And you said, decide to finish the work, then the way will show. Yes, I would like to answer. I do finish the work with you, with all of you. And I really appreciate, Yujin, your role among us. I feel you not only just invite us, but also you union of us. And I feel like we are a phoenix, as Dore said, with two wings and fire and we can do this with wholly different, as a whole different being, and it is time for that. Thank you so much for your service, and all of your comments makes me very happy, and thank you.
May I? I'm Youngnan. Can I say something? I know this is really late, but I want to respond shortly. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Youngnan.
Okay. First of all, thank you for your invitation. This time out there, there's strong wind, and your service looks it's like a whisper. You invite us, but this is a very small whisper, but your service is more clear and strong, and I can hear what you say. Be myself to finish our work, and that your voice, whispering voice, I can hear not from my ear but from my heart. So thank you for your invitation. And actually, recently as a Korean, it's not easy to let Yujin and Marshall go to the West again. but but from this service, I can feel there's no doubt. Yeah, we really welcome and we really bless you and Marsha a big vision, because through this service, I can see this process more clearly in a larger vision. And it is so honored. I feel I'm so honored to see we as a part of Phoenix. Today we are born again as a body of a Phoenix. I can feel that one. So thank you for inviting us, and thank you for being me as a witness. And yeah, that's it for now. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Young Man. I just realized, Steve, that I was meant to turn it over to you. I was kind of waiting for you. But I'll finish with maybe a final comment. I'm so glad for the degree of deep exchange of heart and spirit and love that we shared in this time, especially East and West, standing together upon the sea of glass, mingled with the fire of our passion, playing the harp of God, inviting all angels on earth to join to finish the work. Sons and daughters of God, present in expression now as never before. Thank you. Over to you, Steve.
Thank you, Yujin. Thank you, everyone. My heart is taken. My sensing is we've lit up at least half the world, and that influence is extending, and it's something in our hearts to let that influence continue to extend. And I appreciate the gentle nature of the Korean heart, but more than the gentleness, the strength, the spine, the turgor of that spirit, uniting with our Western nature to allow for something of change to occur. So as we continue along these lines, we bless each other and we bless the world. Our next Temple of Light service will be followed up by Marcia on February 19th. And Robert, you have some music to conclude our time.